Say praise the Lord, everybody.
I forgot it, left it home, you know, but I got something for you.
All right.
Hey, glory.
This is dealing with Cain's seeds. You know, about the Jews of nowadays. You know, they don't look nothing like the Jews of old time. They are whiter, and they mostly live under the law of Moses. You know, they don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God.
Right.
And it's just something about those people, you know, how they live by Moses' law, by that hate your love your neighbor but hate your enemies. You know, that's what kind of law they live by. You know, and I can remember the time when the black Jews were in thinking, I forgot where they were at, but they were trying to get home to Israel. So the white Jews, they came and picked them up and brought them to Israel, but then didn't do nothing for them. They didn't try to help them. You know, they just brought them and just like dropped them off, you know, to say you're on your own. And right now there are black Jews over in Israel that are struggling. You know, that they don't have it as good as the white Jews.
Right.
You know, and they can't get no help.
Yeah.
So I think about them, and I think about how in this country, how the Jews are. You know, there are Jews scattered all over the United States. In every state, there are some Jews in it.
Amen.
And they're the one that control the money. And they just like separate themselves from other people. You know, they don't act like the people of God. You know, like what Jesus would teach it, that you're supposed to love your neighbor, you know, and love your enemy as well. You know, those people that don't do that. And they dress in a certain way, you know. You could tell a Jew because he got this, I think, a yarmulke on his head. And they got the traditional Jews got this long hair hanging down, you know, where it was come from when they were supposed to cut their hair and stuff like that. So it's just that, you know, I don't see how they missed the mark. I can't see how they missed the mark. I can't understand how they missed the mark. You know, when God told them that they were his people and he gave them laws to abide by, they were so stuck on Moses' laws till they couldn't see the Messiah coming in. They didn't understand that he was the Son of God. And that puzzles me. You know, people supposed to be so religious. How could you miss that important factor? You know, they didn't want to change. Even when Jesus was here, you know, they still believed in the laws of Moses. They didn't believe that there was a new day. You know, they wouldn't believe it.
Okay.
And it still bothers me how they do things. You know, they don't go by all the laws of Moses. Only they pick out certain ones. Because in there's a law of Jubilee. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's every 7 years They're supposed to, he'll forgive you. Supposed to wipe that debt out. You know, they don't do that. They carry that, you owe them. You, after 7 years, you still owe them. So it just bothers me. You know, I just scratch my head and keep going because, you know, but they don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. That's another thing. You know, how could they miss the mark? You know, by not being the Son of God. But the old Jews were scattered across the earth, and then they mixed in with other people, nationalities, but the most they mixed in was with the Canaanites. The Canaanites were a group of people that lived similar to the Jews. They had the same enemies the Jews had. So they integrated in them. Then back in David's time, King David, he appointed those people to be scribes and Pharisees. And so they was coming up to Jesus' time, they were the ones that were against Jesus. You know, I don't care what he did, they always had something to say about it. They the one got the crowd into hollering about crucifying him. You know, they started it out, and the people picked it up. You know, but like Pilate, I think that was Pilate, he didn't find no fault in Jesus. Yeah, I told him that. I don't find no fault in him for us killing him. No, I'm not going to do that. They kept on ragging him until he told them, well, okay, take him and do what you want with him. You know, so they hung him. You know, and then after they hung him, the scribes and the Pharisees went with him and told him that we're not sure that he's dead, or his disciples might steal his body and say he rose. You know, so he had them to seal up the tomb, you know, and put a seal on it, and had guards out there watching. Well, when it was time for Jesus to get up out of that tomb, you know, the soldiers felt like dead men around it, you know, and then he arose, but he didn't go right straight to heaven. Then he stayed on earth. I think it was 39 or 40 days. You know, he showed the people that he was alive. Certain people he seen him and didn't recognize him. You know, even disciples didn't even recognize him at first. You know, so he came and he showed him, and then he was caught up in a cloud. It was taken to heaven. You know. But before then, he had told his disciples to wait in Jerusalem, you know, until the Comforter come. And when the Comforter came, it came as a mighty rushing wind, and it set on each one as a cloud of fire. You know, and then they start speaking in other tongues. Now, other tongues, that's something I want to tell you now. Other tongues don't mean that they speaking in a language that don't nobody understand. They was talking in a language like if you was from Mexico, you know, I praise God in your language. You know, that was the other tongue. You know, and then somebody else might be from another country, and then you praise them in their tongue. You know, that's what they meant by other languages. All that blue, all that stuff, it ain't like that. It's not like that.
Amen.
It's not like that. So,
Thank you, Lord.
it's just amazing how those Jews, they missed the mark. But in that great day, they gonna be sorry.
Amen.
Jesus told them already, you know, y'all who call yourself Jews, but they ain't Jews. They've been calling themselves Jews so long till they done forgot who they really are.
Amen.
You know, but they are Canaanites, the seed of Cain. You know, and if the original Jew, his color was like a earthly color, like he wasn't white and he wasn't black. He was like almost like in between. You know, and if you look at the Jews now, none of them that color. All of them are white. They are white. And that was the original color of the Jews. Yeah. They say that that Jesus told them that I know I know your thoughts, and they think that they are Jews, and they really think they're going to heaven, but they have not lived up. They won't accept Jesus as his Savior, and without Jesus, you can't get to heaven.
Amen.
You can't get to God. You can't see God. You know, you got to go through Him in order to accomplish that.
Amen.
And another thing is that they said that he said you can't get to the Father unless you see me, but you can't come to Jesus unless the Father draw you to Him.
Amen.
God the Father has to draw you to Jesus the Son. And then you take Jesus the Son, he have to accept what his teaching and live by what he said, his commandments. You know, because the 10 Commandments, he said, live by my commandments. He didn't say live by the 10 Commandments. He said live by my commandments. That means the commandments that he given the people right then, that's what they were supposed to live by. You know, he said he didn't come to abolish the law or do away with the laws, but to fulfill them. And that's what he did. And other people, they couldn't understand that. So there was something else. I just can't get over it. How the Jews missed them all. How they missed them. They had the first crack at it. The first crack at it.
Amen.
But by them not believing, they became broken branches. You know, like a branch broke off of them. You know, so, and we were drafted in as wild olives. You know, we were drafted into the root. Yeah, there's something else. You know, I start out studying about the serpent seed, which is the devil, about his seed, which is Cain, and who Cain married, and the woman that he married, the people from that marriage came known as Canaanites. I couldn't find out why were they called Canaanites, but you know, they was That's what they were called. They were known as Kentonites. And later on, they changed, I guess they changed their names to Pharisees and scribes because they knew the law better than the Jews knew it. They knew it. So that was one reason why David appointed them to be, I guess, to interpret the law for the people. They got so strung up in interpreting the law and so hooked up to it that they couldn't see Jesus was coming in. That was like, supposed to be like the school teachers. You know, with the student, the school teacher teaches the students, and the student learn, and then they go out on their own to, I guess, to bring forth the message, you know. But they didn't want to let that go. They always wanted to be in charge, always wanted to, I guess they call it do the right thing, but they wasn't called martyrs. You know. They could understand why Jesus was the Son of God, why he was sent here. They were just stuck in Moses' laws. Well, that's about all I have.
Okay, amen.
You know,
Thank you, Lord.
there was a sermon there.
Thank you, Lord.
You know.
Thank you, Jesus.